Welcome back to the shop. So right now, the 47, it's on hold, waiting for parts, but did bring this bad boy home. So this has just a 3.6 or 3.8 V6 in it. What we're gonna do is, right now we're gonna yank this out. So we gotta pull this engine out, and we're gonna have to strip probably all the wiring in the front of the car and the dash. Pull that out and see where we got. Hopefully we have the rest of the wiring in the car that will match up, hopefully, and I don't have to switch everything over, but if I have to switch it all, I'll switch it all. So what's going in here is going to be, this is a 94. I have a donor car that's a 97. So the difference of OBD1 to OBD2, that's going to be a majority of it. This one initially had ABS in it. That car doesn't, at least not that I saw, which is odd, but maybe it's hiding somewhere else. So this one's already got a tubular K-frame in it. That one is a standard frame, and yeah, it's got some damage underneath of it that I didn't see when I got it, but that's okay. Main focus right now is getting this engine transmission back out and then placing it there, hopefully. So we're gonna focus on that right now. If I remember right, last time when I put it in and pulled it out, I didn't have to pull the hood off of it, so we'll just push it back. I gotta get the engine stand out from the mess and get that out here, but outside of that, we'll get this out, hopefully get it out, and I gotta get it up in the air, take out my crossmember I made, at least I think I made one for this, and go from there. We'll use as many parts off the 97 as we can. I do have a new windshield for this already. I just giggles put the drag seat in here to see what it was, if I would even fit in this, because 97. So, but this one's going to my son, so let's go ahead and see what we can do to get this started. Alright, so we got the engine out, got it sitting over here for right now, great. Blue car is sitting out on the trailer, and I'm sitting in here taking stuff apart because for some reason I lost the key. So I was trying to figure out what's going on down here, and right here I see this box sitting here, all wired up, bundled up in here. I'm sitting here, cut it out. It's a tracking box. Well, luckily I don't think it's active anymore, but odd to find that in here. So that's going away. Anyway, looking underneath here, I got the other car in neutral, but I got to try and figure out, I don't want to really drill it out, but if I have to, I'll drill out the steering column out. One way or another, it's going to work. But I found actually the port. Let's see if I can point it out here or not. There's already an OBD2 port in here. So maybe I won't have to change the dash wiring and everything else. I guess we might as well get this car out of here and play the swap-a-roo game and see what happens. Because if I don't have to pull out the dash, I don't want to. It's not the funnest. I've done it before, but if I don't need to, I'm not going to. So the tracking thing kind of is disturbing, but I think I'm gonna go break that ignition on the other one. This one's not broken, so I just pulled it out, sitting here. So I just pulled it out so I could get a better look at it. I think I'm probably just gonna end up breaking the other one. It's not the end of the world. This one's good. Not worried about the other one. The other one's just a parts car. It's got less miles on, but it's got more damage. That one's actually been salvage title on it. It's been totaled. So I think that's what I'm gonna go do now and see if I can muster something up. That one, it did run. So hopefully we'll get lucky and actually just be able to drive it in here. If I'm lucky. I know it doesn't have reverse, and that's something I gotta look at down the road. Probably when I have it out, I'll probably just take the pan off and make sure everything looks good in there. But outside of that, it's going to be a matter of probably dropping and replacing that transmission after I have it in this car. So we'll get to that one down the road here, but I'm going to go cut that ignition out. All right, new day is upon us, and I did manage to get the 97 in here. That was a struggle. I lost the keys for it. Well, 97 was the second year of PATS as an option, and this one had PATS. And lo and behold, the only way you can get rid of the PATS is with a tune with something like an SC tuner or something along that lines. At least with this ECU, the HP tuners wouldn't work to get rid of it. So I did get it all cleaned out last night before I drug it in the garage. Then once I drug it in the garage, I bug bombed, and yeah, this is where we're at. So there was a few mouse nests. There might still be some in there yet now, but it'd be behind panels. So we're probably gonna do a lot of not nice stuff to this car, but that's okay. It's like I said, it's been totaled already once. So what we're gonna do is probably start by getting the seats out. We are gonna have to pull the dash because of the PAT system. Pull off all the front end, hood, get all of it out of the way. Might even pull the doors off. I don't know, because the car's probably gonna be stripped anyway. I don't know. But we're going to get this thing tore down. That way we can get the engine tranny wiring out of it. I'll pull the whole front end wiring, pull the dash, pull that wiring. I'm hoping that the rest of the car is the same, so I don't have to tear all that apart. Probably pull the rear end and throw that in the Fox body. Might as well. I mean, it's only a 7.5. We do have to pull the gas tank out because the red Mustang doesn't have one. That was pulled out for somebody's thought of drag racing on that before we had purchased it. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm guessing it's just gonna get all completely stripped down. That's where I'm probably going to be at. Who knows? I know I have enough parts for one of these up in the attic already from way back in the day when I had one, but we'll get it stripped down and then go from there. Alright, we got most of the front end stripped off. We got it jacked up here. So I was looking at this a lot, trying to figure out where the damage was. It looks like they just replaced the front core support here. And then the bumper crush zone here. The reason I say that is because the frame rails are still tweaked and bent and push out down here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's pushed out there. The uppers looks like it was pulled. There's Bondo sitting in here. I figured they had replaced it from here back because that's where it's painted. It's painted from pretty much right here forward. But it appears that it was just pulled, straightened out. I mean, that is not straight. So that's why the front end never actually fit right, because they had never straightened it out all the way. They just straightened it as best they could to get the new core support and went on their merry way. I don't know if it ever was driven since the accident or not. I mean, you can see it's crushed here too. And then we get to the underside. Maybe, hopefully there's enough light. Oh, even though I sprayed, bombed the place last night, it still has plenty of stuff. So as long as we got enough, hopefully enough light. So we got damage here still. Somebody had cut the cats off at one time. This is ripped. Obviously we have some rust. This car's only got 111,000 miles on at least the odometer. And looking from what I can see on the interior, it looks like that's probably accurate. We got a little bit of damage on the K-frame. Maybe. We'll have to look at that a little bit better when we get it out, because my plan was to put that in the other car. So we'll have to look at that a little better when we have the entire thing dropped. I think it's probably going to be okay. I'm hoping. So, yeah, it's probably okay. But when they cut the cats off, then they damaged the O2 sensors, and the exhaust is bent. Actually, the muffler's kind of rusty anyway, so it's not the end of the world. I got enough to make... I should be able to make an exhaust off of that. Just replace the muffler and get some bends and stuff. This isn't a fancy car by any means, but I think what I might do is I might cut this floor out in this area, because my Fox body needs that area because of the T-top leak. And I think this one's going to be pretty close to the same. I'll have to do some measuring. But if I can get that to fit in there, why not? This car is seen its better days, honestly. I mean, big dent there. I mean, yeah, it could be put back on the road. It probably could, but that side of the rocker's got a bunch of damage there too, in the exact same area. So I wonder if that was a curb or something. Hard to say, but that floor is definitely shot. So, oh, fenders weren't even attached, really, just the tops and the bottom bolts on the inside. So, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and just continue on. I got fluids I got to drain now, so we're gonna have to drain all the coolant out of it. There's nothing in the AC system, otherwise I would recycle that. Hopefully, I mean, I could put pressure on it or vacuum on it right now to see if the system holds. That way when we put it in the other car, I do have a different AC compressor, but the AC compressor is pretty easy to get to here, right on the top. So this car came with a different one. I don't know why, but it did. I wonder if they thought it was bad. I don't know. We had some water come out of the air box, so yeah. Time to drain some fluids. I'll get those drained out, and then we can keep on moving on. Get the transmission cross member out, drop this front suspension, and then this is going to drop out. We'll have to pull the radiator out, and the air conditioning condenser. Make sure everything here is loose, all these wires. Get those out of the way so that they're not hooked up when we drop the engine and engine transmission cradle. When we drop that out, pull the car up over it. And then we'll be sticking this in the other car. And hopefully it will go good. All right, update. We went from draining fluids to just keep going, unfortunately. So I didn't record. I probably should have, but that seems to be one of the mistakes I always make. Radiator's out, condenser's out. I pulled back all the wiring on this side. So we got that sitting over here. I tipped the car up so I could drain as much antifreeze out as I could. Wiring on this side, got that actually completely out. AC lines are out. I am gonna have to change the evaporator core because the lines are different on this car compared to the 94. So we'll probably pull the air boxes on both of them and swap them. It is what it is. This is ready to go. Everything is disconnected as far as I know. So I would just have to drop the sway bar out. I gotta drop the struts so I can get to the bolts on the K-frame. Those are you can see the tops of them right here. Hopefully you can see them. So the top right there, one on each side. There's two in the back that are down there. That's on each side. So then I can just drop everything out the bottom. So we'll put it back on the ground or get it close to the ground and unbolt those and drop them out. Or put it on jack stands or something. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. It's been a minute since I've pulled it out of the car that way. Actually, I don't know if I've ever done it on this car that way. Front wheel drive, yeah, but not Mustang. Be great if I had a lift. That would make it so much easier, wouldn't it? But nonetheless, still have the cruise control module sitting over here. Outside of that, that wiring harness just goes up here. Don't know what. I think that's actually for windshield wipers, I think. So that's all done. And then I came to the back. I still have to pull the drive shaft. That I haven't done yet. Came to the back and pulled out the gas tank. So that's all done now, which is a plus. You know, this car is not quite as rusty as the red car in the back here. Wonder if I should cut the back half off and save it for later, or if I just need to just leave it alone and move on. That's probably the right answer. So I gotta pull the drive shaft off, get that out of the way. I gotta get the exhaust out of here yet. I need to, even though it's rusty, I'll probably just reuse most of that, besides the muffler and some of that pipe. But nonetheless, all this is out. I already have a filler neck in the other car. What I do need to do though is grab some of the bolts. I grabbed the gasket that was right there. I needed that. Like I said before, I'm probably gonna pull this rear end out and use it in the Fox body, but that's at a later time. Once this is out of the garage, it's probably gonna end up getting taken out to the scrapyard, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna take as much out of it as I can. Front seats, dash, part of the floor pan, everything that I need out of this car, and then we'll just get rid of it. No point in hanging on to it. So, all right, next project is the seats, because it's going to make it so much easier to get the dash out. I got to pull the center console, then I'll pull the dash. This wiring harness here hooks up to the ECU, which is behind the passenger side kick panel here. So I have pulled dashes on these before, but you know, the whole reason I got to pull it is because of that darn PAT system. So, all right, now onto that. All right, dash is loose. Oh, so it was 3 bolts on top, the 2 lower bolts on each side, and there was one of the higher ones on each side. Taking wires off of the brake pedal, disconnecting the wires and doors on each side. Actually, I don't even think I needed to disconnect the doors the way it looks, because those were probably connected over here, and I disconnected all the wiring over here. Nonetheless, it's all disconnected. Airbag module, I believe, is what that is. That's disconnected. Disconnected the heater box, AC box, and was able to flip this out. There's 3 bolts on the bottom down here on each side that hold it in, along with that bracket. Shifter is fairly well disconnected. Pulled the column out because the column actually attaches to the dash. But that's out now. So now I can get this dash out of the car, and then I got to pull the heater box out. Probably should pull the airbag module out. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure where I'm going yet as far as this harness goes. I know the radio harness in this thing is cut up pretty good, and they had speaker wires running all over the place for back and the driver's side, or the passenger side door here. I'm not sure what that's about, but nonetheless, we'll pull out the rest of what I think we need here and be on our merry way. Down underneath, the shifter cable is still connected. I got the shifter loose, but the cable's still there, so we got to get that out of there. We're going to need this shifter because it's got the overdrive button, so we'll have to use this shifter. Oh, maybe the other one has one. I'll have to look. It might, but I don't know. Nonetheless, this is done. Drop the transmission cross member, drop the front end, drop the engine. I still got to drop the drive shaft. All right, keep moving. All right. So, engine's still in here. It's time to take it out, I think. Got the coils out. Got one of the bolts on each side taken care of. Dash is out. Drive shaft's off. I think I went through all that already. I got some wood underneath the back of the transmission right now. I had to cut off. This was damaged, so I had to cut that off. When I loosened the bolts on this side, this whole side just sprung. So this front end is definitely twisted on this car, which doesn't surprise me much. But all I have left to do at this point is take these bolts. We don't have very good light. There we go. The front bolts on this K-frame out on both sides. Then the engine's loose from the car. So at that point, we can lift the car up magically and get it. I don't know how we're gonna figure this out yet, but we got to figure it out at some point. We'll get this done tonight. At least get the car up and over and get it on some jack stands again. Engine will probably still sit there, but realistically, that's where we're at right now. And tomorrow I leave for California for a few days, so then it sits, which is fine. I'll go ahead and clean up all the mess outside and set off a few more bug bombs in here. There's a lot of spiders that came out of this car today, so I don't like them in my garage if I can keep them out. But let's go ahead and see what we can accomplish here. I'm gonna see if I can set you up on a time lapse. All right, so we are down on the ground with the engine and trans, well, not quite on the ground, but we're down anyway. So we're loose, it's off. That's probably about it for the night because I got to clean up, get the door shut and whatnot, get bombs set off in here, and I still have to pack. So we got the shifter out. I got to take the AC box out yet, which heater box, which are a couple bolts here that are still holding it on. That's why I haven't got it out yet. We'll get that out of the way. That probably is almost the last thing we're taking out of this car. Floor and rear end. And the only reason I'm taking some of the floor is because box body. Why not? Why not? So the frame here is junk. Frame down there, junk. Car, be a good car for drag racing, but unless my other half says drag race this instead of the XL or the Fox body, I don't see a point in doing it right now. I really don't. Not with as much work as this car would actually take, because you might as well just put a full chassis in it. But nonetheless, I'm going to end that here. This is going to stay like this for a little while. Not quite sure how long yet, but it's going to stay like this for a little while. And we'll get back to it at least when I get back from California. We'll have to get back on it then. And on top of that, we're going to have to figure out how to move the car and not the engine and transmission. Got a couple thoughts, couple ideas. Got some 2x6s. I'm sure we can make something happen. So, all right, appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. You have yourself a wonderful day. Get out in that garage and do something. Have a good one.